What's up, 49er fans? I'm Jason Aponte. This is another 49ers afternoon report. Rumors of Aaron Rodgers to San Francisco again. What are some franchise records that'll never be broken? Maybe a little bit of film of Week 13 versus Miami. Stick around. 49ers afternoon report starts now. Welcome, everybody. Let's go, Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. What's up, 49er fans? I'm Jason Aponte. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live. This is another 49ers afternoon report. And as usual, there's always something to talk about in the world of the 49ers, particularly for the 49ers quarterback position. And I want to start by talking about something that I talked about yesterday when we were discussing Kirk Cousins, and that's as long as the 49ers have questions at quarterback, meaning still no definitive answer right now on April 5th in terms of who's healthy, who's going to be playing, there are going to be these sort of rumors and these sort of questions. Now, what I'm going to do is, because this is from my neck of the woods, Craig Carlton is somebody who is a New York radio personality. I believe he's on WFAN. I don't know. I don't listen to sports radio, particularly because I don't root for any a New York team outside the Yankees, and I can do my own thought process about the Yankees. I don't need to hear loudmouths, yelling about, nonsensical things. So let's talk about who this person is, and let's start there with this rumor. So basically, Craig Carlton comes out on his show, and he says that the 49ers would be ready to swoop in if the Jets aren't able to get a Rodgers deal done. Automatically, that sends shockwaves, and everyone's starting to think about, well, is this possible? Okay, well, let's do this. Let's break down the person who's saying this. Craig Carlton has no connection to the Packers, doesn't know anything about any other team, and quite frankly, doesn't break anything about the Jets either. So there's one. Let's talk about reputation. Let's talk about guy who's actually connected. Not him. Not him at all. Not to the Jets, Giants, Mets, Knicks, Yankees, Rangers, whatever. New York Liberty, none of it. Okay, that's the first part. The second part is Craig Carlton is in this position right now of trying to drum up as much content as possible, right? We're all trying to do it. Some people are doing it with much more clickbaity things like what he's saying. Some of us are just trying to put out content and just say, hey, listen, it's out there, whether you like it or not. I'm not going to dumb myself down to that, even though I am the one that's talking about it right now. But he, like other content creators, radio personalities, are always knowing that the hot button issue is going to be bringing up the San Francisco 49ers quarterback position because they don't have anyone who is healthy enough to be the de facto quarterback one until that changes, and that would only be Sam Darnold. So my thing is this, and real quick, Sacktown Izzy, Rodgers said long ago he's not coming to play for us, yet we still feel the dead narratives. Sacktown, I'll be honest with you, if that man's mind changes every few minutes, that man cannot be trusted with what he said 2 weeks ago to make it seem like it's this. I don't think that he's coming here, but to point to that being the reason that Aaron Rodgers would say no if there was something going on, absolutely not. I mean, the man doesn't even believe that 9/11 happened. He's not all there in his head, is what I'm saying. Okay. So Craig Carlton is doing right now what he is doing best in terms of just drumming up content. Now, here's the question. The question is, Craig Carlton is now being used as a way to leverage the Jets into panic. Now, let me explain. Someone comes to Craig Carlton and says, man, the 49ers have offered this, this, and this. And we'll get into the proposed offer. The 49ers are waiting because they have this, this, and this on the table. And if the Jets mess this up, the San Francisco 49ers will push for Rodgers. Well, how can you tell him that if you don't have a definitive quarterback one? This is what I was talking about yesterday. I want to go into an offseason in which the 49ers have a quarterback one. That's it. Every single year. Set your watch to it. No more questions. No Kirk Cousins, no Aaron Rodgers, no this guy, no that guy. I don't care who it is, but since the 49ers don't have that, they're always going to be the team that people float out there to leverage other teams. Now, the 49ers are a win-now roster. They're very close. So this person in Green Bay drops this off to Craig Carton, and he blasts this out in New York airwaves to do what? One, to drum up controversy and get other people talking about it and to get views to his show, his morning show with Boomer Esiason. And then two, to make the Jets panic. To make the Jets panic. So what is the proposed deal? The proposed deal that the 49ers have talked about, again, I'm putting this up in quotation, is next year's first and third, which trumps the offer of what the Jets have been offering. And I want to pull it up because I want to make sure I get the specifics right, because there's some weird stuff going on here with this. So the reported San Francisco deal is 2024 first and 2/3 versus number 41 pick for the Jets, 2024 second that turns into a first if Rodgers wins the division. Miami and Buffalo are also in that division, right? And a playoff game. And giving back a 2025 second if Rodgers retires early. All this is, and all that is to get the Jets to panic and up their offer and make it seem like there's someone else in the bidding. There is something to this, but again, if the 49ers had a down pat, healthy, ready to go, no questions asked training camp, quarterback ready to go, none of this would be possible. So when you see people connect Kirk Cousins to the 49ers, when you see people connect Aaron Rodgers to them, it's because the 49ers still are in search of their guy and they are in win now mode. So to recap all of this, let's go through it one more time. Craig Carton doesn't know anything. The Packers are using Craig Carton to leverage the Jets into panic, to pull the trigger and get this done, because the Packers, from everything that I was told at the combine and everything that was being said, are done with this. And they don't care where they send him. NFC, AFC, XFL, they don't care. They're done. They want to not be held hostage anymore. This is the second quarterback in a row that this has happened to them, with Brett Favre being the first. Craig Carton's also trying to drum up content. And as long as the 49ers don't have their quarterback one set, dead, ready to go with no physical limitations, any sort of things that they need to set back, all of these things are going to continue. And with Kyle Shanahan's history of switching from quarterback to quarterback to quarterback to quarterback, you could see how people would automatically put the 49ers in that spot. Rodgers isn't going somewhere to rebuild. Rodgers isn't going to San Francisco. Let's just get that out the way. But Rodgers can only be seen in a place where he has an opening with a win-now team, and that's San Francisco. So to put a bow on all of this, full-on content season, full-on media games being played right now with the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are using Craig Carton. I don't know why they're using him when they can use so many other New York media personalities to get this message out, but they're using him to float this offer out there that the 49ers have to force the Jets into a panic move. So all of that to say what? Nothing. Nothing at all. Somehow I turned this into 8 straight minutes. I don't know. But I tell you this, the 49ers better hold on to those picks, because if they were dumb enough to trade a first and 2/3 for Aaron Rodgers, then you have to win the Super Bowl this year. No type of questions asked, no excuses. And if they don't, massive failure, because that man will walk away very fast. Shout out to everybody in here, over 40 people in here. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live. Talking this Aaron Rodgers to San Francisco thing. Again, I'm dismissing it right now at this point. It's April 5th. There's nothing to talk about. Again, when I tell you that these guys who do media and all that stuff, they do not do draft evaluations. They don't care about the draft. They don't care about, evaluating players. They don't even care. They probably don't even know where their team picks. And this is the only way for them to actually generate views. And it works both ways. Craig Carton gets something that he thinks is juicy and is true, and he lets it fly on his show. And his show is getting all this now attention from me and everyone else. It's really to just make the Jets general manager panic. It's really to say, Joe Douglas, pull the trigger, bud. Let's go. So either way, doesn't really matter. Don't think it's happening, but we almost did 10 minutes of content off it. So maybe I should say thank you. So, all right, let's move on to our next segment. So I wrote an article today about franchise records that I feel will never be broken. And it was a great idea by KP for me to look into it. And you look at so many players that the 49ers have had. I mean, this is a storied franchise, right? You've got players that people consider the greatest of all time at their position, coaches that are considered the greatest of all time, moments that are up at the top of the NFL lore. So there's so much rich history with this team. So you go through and you start to look at franchise records that the 49ers have, not single season records, franchise records that'll stand forever. And sure, you can add context to some of them, but I don't think it's necessarily needed in these because the record's the record. There's no asterisks. So I want to pull up the 3 that I have, and then we'll do some film. I promise, guys. I got some Week 13 Miami stuff because I just got into the Bobby Peters book, and I'm really locked in with that right now. So let me pull this up real quick. So the first one is, if I were to ask a casual 49er fan, who is the most winningest coach in 49ers history, you would say probably Bill Walsh. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Right now, it's George Seifert. And George Seifert's record is 98-30. Now, I get it. Seifert takes over a team that was coached by Bill Walsh, loaded roster, Joe Montana. He won 2 Super Bowls, never won less than 10 games in any season, and won 13-plus games in 4 seasons. I mean, I think that's as impressive as it is, but the 30 regular seasons, the losses is what I really want to get into. In 8 seasons, that is less than 4 losses per season, 3.75 to be exact. Now, will there be a coach that comes along and wins more games than Seifert? Probably. But I'll tell you what won't be broken, that winning percentage. 98 out of 128 games were wins for George Seifert. Never going to be broken. Will stand till the end of time for the 49ers. Think about the level of parity the NFL has. Think about the salary cap. Think about all of those things. And I guarantee you that will sit for the rest of the time that the 49ers are alive. All right. The second one is Randy Moss broke the single season receiving touchdown record with 23, right? But there was a guy that had the record before him. And in 1987, it was set by a guy named Jerry Rice. And Jerry Rice had 22 touchdowns receiving in a 12-game strike-shortened 1987 season. And he added a rushing touchdown. In 12 games, Jerry Rice had 23 touchdowns, 22 receiving. It took Randy Moss 16 games to do what Jerry Rice did in 12. That franchise record will never fall. It barely fell as an NFL record because of what happened with Randy Moss. But that will never fall. And I could have done all these franchise records on just Jerry Rice. Everything Jerry Rice, right? I chose to stay away from doing everything Jerry Rice because it's too easy. But 12 games, 22 receiving touchdowns, that's insane. That's probably up there with the craziest NFL or sports stat out there. It's impossible to believe that somebody can do that over 16 games in a passing league, in a league which now you can't touch receivers, you can't touch quarterbacks. It's designed to go straight to offense, and yet nobody's going to touch that. 22 touchdowns in 12 games will stand forever. Forever. All right, and the last one is Frank Gore, 11,073 rushing yards in 9 seasons as a 49er. Now, look, why is that big? I mean, obviously, Frank Gore has 2 careers, 49er career, and then after that, and he has all of those numbers. He's compiled so many rushing yards because he did something that is almost impossible in this day and age, and it was be durable and be that productive for that time. So running backs aren't sticking around for 9 years or sustaining that level of production. He leads the 49ers with nearly 2,400 more yards than Joe Perry, who's in second place. And Joe Perry played in 10 more games. Gore also leads the franchise with 74.8 rushing yards per game. When it comes to Frank Gore, and when it comes to having the longevity to stick around, the durability, the production, all of those things. In this day and age, what's the collapse of running backs? 4 or 5 games? I mean, 4 or 5 seasons, not games. 4 or 5 seasons. If they're lucky, Adrian Peterson's not playing anymore, but he played for a long time. You're not really going to see production like that. So I do think this is another record, the third, that will stand the test of time. Frank Gore, rushing total. Jerry Rice, 22 receiving touchdowns in 12 games in a strike-shortened year. And George Seiferd's winning percentage, 98-30. 3 franchise records that will not fall ever, as long as you're a 49er fan. Ever. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live. 15 minutes in, trying to, put something different together, right? Like we talked about Aaron Rodgers. You can go back and check that out in a little bit as well, too. We just talked about this. But right now, I want to do a little film work. So for you guys that don't know, like these books behind me in the corner, they're all written by a guy named Bobby Peters. And he's done the 49ers from 1999, the Rams, the Packers, the Browns, the Niners again in 2021. He's done the Miami Dolphins in 2022, and he's done the Detroit Lions of 2022. And I believe he's done the Raiders and Tampa Bay Bucks of a few years ago. Why did I get into these books? Is because, one, it helps me understand a lot more what the offense is doing. I think Bobby Peters does incredible work. He gives you timestamps. You're able to go ahead and take a look. And when you start to read and then put it to watching, I'm a very visual learner. It helps me understand what the 49ers are trying to do. So when everybody says, well, this guy's wide open, well, I don't know if he's part of that progression. And I wanted to get into this Miami Dolphins book because there was so much discussion about, was Mike McDaniel the secret sauce? I think Christian McCaffrey helps a lot too as well. Was Mike McDaniel the secret sauce? Why is this offense not putting up as many points through the air as Miami? Because Miami did. But I think there's a really good answer for that, which is, 1, play design is great, and 2, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are very fast. And I'm going to highlight that in some of these plays. But I have 3 plays that I want to talk about, and I want to show from the Week 13 game in which Brock Purdy came into the game and started his tremendous run, where the 49ers won. In that game, I forget the score, but they had a bunch of turnovers on Tua. There were a bunch of drop passes when I rewatched the game. So for me, I just want to get into this real quick. So just stick with me real quick. I hope I get this right again because I was practicing earlier, so I don't have a problem with, what happened last time. Let me see. Window. All right, here we go. Share. All right, you guys see that? Let me make sure it's up there. Let me add it to the screen. Is it there? All right, there we go. All right, cool. So you guys are going to check this out. This is going to be the first play of the game, actually. The first play of the game. And I think we know how this play went. But I want to show you kind of what this is. So right now, this concept is called play action pop pass. He calls it soda because of pop. I like the pop pass idea. And basically, the concept has no true read. There's no progression in this. And what this is when Tyreek Hill is going to come across the motion here, when he comes back, the idea is that when he draws that attention, as you can see already on the bottom, Mooney Ward is bailing to try and stay with him. When he draws that attention, it makes this read so easy. And it's just about feel. And the reason that they added it to this is because Tua ran it a bunch at Bama. And the old Chargers coach is over there in Miami, and he has a familiarity with it. So they implemented this because they knew Tua was going to be familiar with it and that he was going to be very good at it. Looks like an RPO right here at the top, but they only handed the ball off one time whenever they ran this. So it's not an RPO. It feels more like a play action. And it's just been a play action this entire time that they run it. Now, the 49ers try to disguise the fire zone blitz on this side with Dre Greenlaw right here. And basically what happens is when Tua looks right there, he sees Dre Greenlaw coming. And he already can read right here Mooney Ward's hips and Hufanga's up here. He knows where this ball is going. So you see it clears out and it becomes a quick read. Like he understands exactly where this ball's going. I mean, it can only go one of 2 places. So the idea when you put Tyreek Hill, who's so fast, so dangerous, it puts defenders in conflict. Do you pick him? Do you let him run by you? Because if you do, it's a touchdown. Or do you take him away and then here at the bottom is Trent Sherfield? And boom. And then it leads to a touchdown. But again, it's about the play design, right? You flash the RPO, which makes you flash the play action. I should stop saying the RPO. And look, Nick Bosa freezes for a second. Nick Bosa's off. Now Nick Bosa doesn't even know where he's going. Dre Greenlaw was going to be the person blitzing right here. And by that time, Tua's already seen, okay, I got Mooney Ward bailing right here with Hill, and I've got Hufanga over the top going with him. And now this is just an easy pop pass. boom, right in there. And then we know what the rest is there. So we'll show it to you again one more time. Again, play action right here. Fire zone blitz. Nick Bosa doesn't know where he's at. Pop pass. Boom. And that's it. After that, it's off to the races. Aziz almost could have put a hand on him there, but Trent runs away with it right there. So that's the first play I wanted to show you guys. And I just kind of wanted to show you just like what the concept is in terms of how they're running it, how it is that they get guys open, spring guys open. And so much of what Miami was able to do on offense is just based on the fact that Tyreek Hill is such a threat with his legs that you have to pay attention to him. And if you don't, they're going to burn you with him as well too. So again, when a lot of people talk about Miami's offense and they're like, oh, Miami's offense is so explosive, you can't be that explosive without those big playmakers. Like, you have to have the personnel to be able to do it. You can run that all day, but if guys aren't afraid of Tyreek Hill, they can play a lot more solid and a lot more calm because they know that they can't get beat like that. With Tyreek Hill, he forces you into high-low conflicts, and I'm going to show you again in a second play, which is actually the third one I'm going to show you. Shout out to Gammon Mod Squad in the building. What's crazier, Niners Nation comments or off-season smoke? Niners Nation comments, hands down, Gammon. I could write an article telling you that I think the 49ers are going to roll this team over, and the comments would be like, what an idiot. I can't believe he's this dumb. Who lets people like this, right? Like, it's just the Niners Nation comment section, which God bless them, is the reason that we're able to produce content and, you know, we're able to make money over there, is a bunch of angry people. At least on Twitter, there's some nice people. Niners Nation comments, I doubt that there's any nice people in there. I don't even check the comments on my articles. Like, even that article that I wrote today about the 3 franchise records, if I go and I look there, I guarantee you someone, oh, Jason's an idiot. I can't believe he said George Seifert. Oh, my God. Oh, of course someone's going to break Frank Gore's record. It's going to be Jordan Mason. Like, people are in there angry for no reason, and they don't even know why they're angry. So I think that's just something that's going on in their life more than anything. But, all right, let's get to another. Let's see. Let me get this one out of here. Let me remove it. Stop screen. All right, let me get to the second play. So let me pull this one up. All right. I'm glad that you asked that, Gavin, because it's crazy. Those comments are insane, man. All right, share. Okay. So this one is a progression read. This one's actually a read. So what you're looking at here is you're going to see Trent Sherfield go in motion. This is a progression read with a choice route. And don't tell Rich Madrid I called it a choice route. And if you want to bother him, say Jason's breaking down Texas routes. He'll get so mad because there are no Texas routes in Shanahan's offense. We just like messing with him. The 49ers run this. The Dolphins run this, and they run it at a 5.7 yard per play clip. So the first option is Jeff Wilson out of the backfield. And he's going to come out here and hit here. But I want you to keep your eyes on two things. This is the way to isolate your number 2 receiver weak on a 3-way go at 4 yards, right? So the thing is that this is a progression, but you start here. And when he's on this side, you're going to start on this side of the progression to the right. The Dolphins use digs, which you're going to see is run by Tyreek Hill. He's going to run a dig that comes right out here. And they run throughs, which you're going to see come across the bottom, I think from the other side here. Yeah, like this is a through right here. The tight end's going to run a through to the other side right here. So, again, I'm going to show you real quick because this play gets blown up by Arik Armstead. And the reason that the 49ers were able to turn the ball over were two things. Arik Armstead blows this play up, doesn't allow Tua time to get to his progressions, and Jeff Wilson Jr. slips. So Jimmy Ward's able to make a play here. So you see the motion, you see them moving, you see Jimmy Ward going with him, right? That way. Now, he's locked in on Jeff Wilson Jr. This underneath route, they're fine with that. There's nothing really there. So here's the thing. You see Arik Armstead down here? He's already through. And I want to start it over again because this was like one of his first or second games back. Uses his hands right there to get by 68. Look. And he's up on him. And now, look, he's not comfortable in the pocket, and he has to rush this throw. He's already locked in on his number 1 read. He thinks that he has enough right here. And to be fair, if Jeff Wilson just doesn't fall there, like right there, it might be incomplete at worst, but Jimmy makes a great play. So, again, if he's able to go through his progressions and Arik Armstead is not blowing this up, right? He'll look here. I'm sure if he had a pocket to step up in, he wouldn't throw it here. You've got basically your window right here with Tyreek Hill. And this is where you got to bang this on him right in here. And he's got nothing but space. It's not crazy to think that he catches this thing and goes into the middle of the field for a touchdown. But Arik Armstead blows this up. And I want to show you from the other side. because I think we're kind of forgetting, we're all on Javon Hargrave, but we're forgetting about Eric Armstead, man. So look, hands the swim, it's the swipe move, scissor swipe, I believe, and he's already in there, and boom, it's the slip fall. And then Jimmy has to go all Superman over him to intercept that. So that's something that they run often. They get 5.7 per play out of all of them. So it's not a bad play. Jordan Mason could though. I just meant to say that. It's just I just meant to say that because it's always like Jordan Mason has like so few carries that they'll just be like, yeah, he's gonna do it, like that. That's what I bet, Justin. All right, I got one more play, and this one is actually one of the better ways that the Dolphins are able to get the ball downfield. And they run it with a great route combination, which puts conflict on high-low. And I'm going to show you guys right now. So also, if you guys are enjoying this video, 64 people in here, 25 minutes in, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Just trying to put content together before we get to the draft and everything with that doesn't have anything to do with the damn quarterback position, right? All right, window. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Okay. All right, so this concept is called play action deep over cop, and the cop is a corner and post route, corner out post route. So that's why it's labeled cop. What you're gonna see here is you're gonna see Tyreek Hill. He's gonna run a straight clear out, and 49ers legend River Craycraft is gonna run a curl and stop right here. Okay, now they pair it with the 9 route with the curl out and 2 by 1 side, and the Niners are in cover 4, but Hill's speed causes Tashawn Gibson to make a choice. Tashawn Gibson can read River Craycraft and break on the ball, but Tyreek Hill has so much speed and leverage on Mooney Ward, who's outside, and he's not, not in position to stop him because of how far off he is. So I'll show it to you right here. So as he goes, this is it. They're both bailing. And again, Tua looks, he's got his eyes downfield, and this is a good way for them to get 10 and 12. I mean, they got 12.1 per play on this concept. So here goes Tyreek. There goes Gibson. Now here comes Craycraft, and he's going to sit that thing down right here. And here's a pump fake from Tua, which actually moves Fred just a little bit right here. Just moves him a little bit right, and the ball's out. And by the time the ball's out, Craycraft does a great job of coming back to the ball and actually grabbing it. But what I want to highlight is how these two routes paired together cause the high-low conflict. You either pick your poison here. Do you want to give up a 45-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill that he can catch and run? Or you're going to give up 12, and either way, they're going to get a first down or a big play. It's genius play calling, and it's great play design in a cover 4 as well, too. He's able to understand that this is the window. You've got to sit that thing down here, and you have to respect Tyreek Hill here. But again, the only thing that I would say, Tua kind of pump fakes right there, and then has to go back to it, and Fred just misses it. Fred would have been there if he would have let that thing go probably earlier, so the pump fake was actually kind of good there. So we'll show it to you one more time. You see Fred going this way, and see that's a play action. And again, look, you're going to see how close Fred gets to it. Ooh, but Craycraft does a great job of coming back to the ball. If he doesn't, then there's a better chance that it gets knocked down. But again, it's pick your poison. And that's why when everybody talks about their offense and they say, well, this, and this, oh, they're so explosive. It's because they have the actual the personnel to get it done. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had fun looking at that. I had fun going through their stuff, especially from that week. I'm going to do a little bit more of that as well too. But at this point, it's just fun to try to figure out different ways to get content out there. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because I think Avery told me she's hungry, so she's got to get it done. So I'll probably cap it at 30 minutes. Shout out to all you guys that are in here. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live. Appreciate you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. 49ers Afternoon Report will be back tomorrow as well. Same time, 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock Pacific time, man. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. And as always, you know the vibes. Let's go Niners. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.